made Jason Momoa pretty stupid in this. I mean, he was kind of dumb in the first one, but man, they right to 11. I mean, they might as well call this Aquaman Ragnarok. What's happening, film friends? Dave the Film Junkie here, bringing you a film review of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. This is it, folks. The DCEU ends this weekend. Kind of poetic, given that Zack is starting his new universe over at Netflix the same weekend. It is something about that. 10 years of the DCEU, and we're ending it with Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Of course, directed by James Wan, starring Jason Momoa, Patrick Wilson, Yahya Mateen. And we have a Lost Kingdom that is found by, of course, Black Manta. We got Black Manta coming back. You already know the whole story. It's nothing too complicated. It's nothing too like, oh, you really got to, like, this plot, holy crap. So what did I think of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom? It's not all bad. It's not all bad. It's just for me. I know some people are really enjoying it. Some people are hating it. And the way I look at it, I'm going to talk about the stuff I liked at first, which I will say that I enjoyed the action in this. I will say. I like the underwater stuff. Now, did all the visual effects look great? No. Some of them did. There's a shot in the final act that I thought, wow, that looks pretty cool. And some other shots looked gorgeous in some of the world building. I mean, there's so much world building that they could do with this franchise, but sadly, we're not going to get any more of it. I mean, I guess we might get a different kind of version of it in the future. Who knows? But there is a lot that could be explored in this world. I just felt like I felt like the first one really had more. I don't know. It's kind of interesting. I think, I don't know. Yeah, I was trying to compare it to the first, which I didn't really want to. I mean, the first one is big time better. But, and when it came to the second act, when it came to now we're in the buddy 80s type movie, because it definitely does feel like that. And then it's enjoyable. It's definitely enjoyable. I mean, the banter back and forth, the brother banter back and forth. I mean, there's a lot of the adventure of them two that does feel like an 80s movie. There's even one time where the score, I actually enjoyed the score, but there was like a moment where the score really felt like it was an 80s movie. It just had that it just brought that to it. James Wan is really good at paying homage to like 80s type movies, and he really kind of does, like especially in that second act, I felt, and coming off this movie, which was the last DC movie that came out, which I felt that was like an 80s adventure movie. I'm kind of digging like the tone of this and the tone of that. Final act was strong. I dug this final act, the final battle. I thought like, woo, okay. Not everything works, of course, but for the most part, I actually enjoyed the final act probably more than the other two. So there's that. And then, of course, we have the whole Mira Amber Heard controversy. I'm actually so glad that she is in it. She's pretty much in more than what was reported. Remember in all those reports, they're cutting her out of the movie. Oh my God, they're evil, blah, 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 blah. No, she is like in the first act, not really in the second because it's all about the brothers. And then she shows up in the third act. Okay, that's no spoiler, but she's in it a lot more. I was kind of wondering how much she was in it. I'm actually glad because I'm going to go, don't do that whole, I was complaining about it when those reports came out. I'm like, oh, they're going to do something stupid where they say the reason why she's not here. And, it was just, I was worried about that, but thankfully not the case. So sorry for the people who absolutely loathe that woman. Yahya Abdul Mateen, Black Manta. Best character of the whole fucking thing. Best character. He nailed it. He was ruthless. He understood why he wanted to get back at Aquaman. He understood that he was being manipulated, and he was good. It was a great villain. Strong. Very strong. I think he was stronger than what Patrick Wilson was in the first one. Honestly. I think, and even how he was in the first one. The first one was like an introduction. This one was full on. He's the villain, and it was freaking awesome. I thought he was great, and I wanted more. And I'm sure there was some stuff that was left on the cutting room floor, but man, he was great. He was the best character of the movie. Now for the gripes. Jason Momoa, why are you so dumb in this? They really made Jason Momoa pretty stupid in this. I mean, he was kind of dumb in the first one, but man, they right to 11. I mean, they might as well call this Aquaman Ragnarok. If you think about it, it is kind of like that. I mean, if you got the brothers and blah, blah, blah. It does have a feel of Thor Ragnarok. It definitely does. But man, the dialogue, the opening scene Like I said in my first reaction review, you could tell it got repurposed to shit. There's a needle drop. There was like a cool sequence that could have been there, but they did this like voiceover thing. You could tell it was repurposed and annoyed the absolute piss out of me. And even like the banter back and forth between the two brothers, I didn't really chuckle at a lot of it. A lot of it was just dumb. It was just dumb dialogue. I didn't really like the dialogue at all in this movie. You could see the editing issues. You can maybe sometimes even spot maybe some of the reshoots, because we know that was the case, especially the very last shot of the movie, which was just so stupid. And then of course there's like a mid-credit scene. You don't have to wait for it. It's dumb. It's really dumb. And yeah, there's just a lot of things. I mean, it just sucks. And maybe it's just because I've watched Zack Snyder's Justice League so many times, and the way that Aquaman is portrayed in there, like I get it. It's a different artist, different everything. I mean, obviously things are not going to be exactly like that. I totally understand that. Like I said, he was fine in the first one. Like, even if not all the jokes hit for me in the first one, he still was not as dumb as he was right here. There were some moments where, yeah, he was badass and he does do his thing, but it's just, there's few and far between. And it's just a lot of times where I'm just kind of going, all right. And yeah, I mean, I can't really say much about it. I think the plus was Black Manta. The minus was Aquaman. And yeah, you could just tell like this movie was just probably just I don't know what, they were just Peter Safran, and then he would be like, hey James, what do you think? There you go, guys. That is my review of Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. Let me know your thoughts about it down below. What did you think about the movie? Hit that like, thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. See you guys in the vodka stream later. Should be a good one. Rebel Moon spoiler discussion with a good panel. All right, guys. Love ya. Talk to you later.